Good evening, everybody. So this will be a video log for March 15th, 2025. I made a community post last night and was like, went to go record my video log, 20-minute video log, and then it corrupted at the very end. It was like, out of disk space. And then I tried to like see if it would work, like run, and the audio and the video were mismatched, and I was just like, dude, I can't use this. No. And I literally just like talked for 20 minutes about how awesome the day was. And then it just so happened to run out of disk space right then. And I was like, bro, this is cooked. This sucks. That sucks, dude. So, I'll just do a quick like recap of the day. I did not want to make it last night. I was like, dude, this is not fun anymore. Like, I felt like such crap about it. Because I mean, you're just sitting here talking to yourself for 20 minutes about like everything you've done. And then it just nothing, right? So, waste 20 minutes, whatever. Yeah, so yesterday woke up, my buddy Jeff was supposed to come over and, like, help me with my car, and then, at, like, 9 or so, and then he didn't wake up till 9:59, and I had to go to work at 11, so he was like, hey, man, can we reschedule for tomorrow? And I was like, yes, dude, I do not want to get out of bed. So I ended up sleeping until about 10, and I was, like, chilling with Anna. We went, I was like, and then I got up, got dressed, sat on my phone and like watched YouTube Shorts or whatever, and then took off for work. Rode my bike just because Anna didn't work and I didn't really care to take the car. And then yeah, went and got Subway. Subway's so good, dude. I biked to work. It's crazy. I used to take that bike path to work like every Saturday when I'd go get Subway, bike all the way down the boulevard. It was actually pretty cool. And then when I got to work, there were already people waiting outside, so I was like, okay, I'll hurry up and open. I'm like 10 minutes early or whatever. And then I ended up being a table of 5. They were regulars, and I was like, what are you guys doing here this early? They're like usually evening people. And apparently their 5-year-old had a wrestling tournament so that they wouldn't watch. And I was like, that's crazy. Cool. And then, yeah, so served them, had like probably 9 tables in the first 3 hours. It was super, super easy, super chill. And then, yeah, around 2 o'clock rolled around. There was like a rather big order, like 6 queues or something, as the kitchen staff were trying to eat. And they were just like, oh, for real, that sucks. So they were like cooking it. And I had like 2 tables come in. And so it was like kind of busy through the time that it's usually not busy. So I was like, oh, nice. Right? And then, let me think. Yeah, around like 3:30, I went and set the back table because we were gonna have a table of 50. No, yeah, a table of 10 at 4:30 and a table of 15 at 5. And I had asked Kaslin and Circa like, hey, could you guys come in half an hour early just so I'm not done and dead in the water, right? So people come in and I was like, oh hey, like I know these people, they're regulars. And he was like, hey man, we're gonna have. Oh, my camera's kind of doing the thing. That actually worked. That's crazy. So he was like, hey man, we're gonna have like 6 or 7, and I was like, okay, sick. And it was like 5 adults, 2 kids. So they sat, not the one that I just set up for the table of 10, obviously. And then they got a number. It was a number 8 for 4 and a Mugu Gaipan, and they had leftovers still. It was crazy. And then yeah, a table of 10 to come in. Let me see that last one. Water, so good. Yeah, then the table of 10 came in, and right before the table of 10 came in, I got a table of 3, and then this dude was placing an order, and he was like, hey man, can I get a number 8 for 9? And I was like, and then he wanted to substitute Maynard chicken into it for not sweet and sour pork, and I was like, we can't do that, and he was like, I've always done it, and I was like, we haven't done it for like 10 months now, like I think it's literally since May of last year, so I had to like kind of explain that to him, which was actually really, he was super chill about it. And then so his order ended up being like $170, and so I put that in, took care of my table of 3, went and greeted the table of 10. They all wanted waters, thank goodness. And then yeah, I was just running around for a little bit, and then Kazan and Circa got there, and I was like, sick, dude, like this will make life a lot easier. But then the Circa got a table of 2, Kazan got the table of 15, and then Joseph came, clocked in, got a table of like 3, and then I got a table of 9 right after. So there was a solid like 2.5 hours where I was like working, dude, like working, and we was all 4 of us, and it was still like fun work. And then it making like $245, dude. I walked out there, I was just like, I'm the guy, yeah, I'm him, right? It was actually a really really solid day. It was really fun. And then yeah, the evening was super chill. I ended up sweeping, mopping. We closed early. The last order was this dude's, some chick named Haley called in, and her boyfriend came and picked it up, and it was a half order of mushroom fried rice, and he was like, "Gotta feed the beast," and I was like, "Dude, wife?" And he was like, "Yeah, girlfriend," and we like had a conversation about just like the girlfriend dynamic in the relationship, about how like my thing with Anna is always like I'll be like, okay, yeah, we're both hungry, what do you want? She'll be like, I don't know, and I'll be like, we get Taco Bell, and she's like, that makes me nauseous, and I'm like, we get McDonald's, and she's like, no, we get McDonald's too much, and I'm like, we eat at home, and she's like, I'm lazy. I'm like, okay, and then she goes, well, you're not suggesting anything else, and I'm like, you haven't suggested anything at all. Like I've made suggestions, I've done my part, you have not. And him and I were like, dude, exactly. And then so we had like a brief, probably like 6 minute conversation about it, just like, yeah, bro, yeah, girls. And then at the very end, I was like, man, the craziest part about like being a human is, like at the end of the day, if my wife were to pass away, like those are the parts that I'd miss a lot. Like just the day to day, like those are the things that I'd really miss, and just be like, I can't believe I took it for granted when I had it. And he was like, dude, exactly. And then left, and I was like, dang, that guy was cool, man. That guy was chill. So yeah, that was pretty much the whole day for Saturday. I had not had my planner on me, so I like didn't have any of my goals, didn't have any of my stuff, didn't write down anything. And I was like, I think I even wrote down goals for Sunday. Let me see what I had. Yard work, video log, recovery is what I'm doing right now. That, got to do that, and then that. So yeah, I was like, I've done most of my goals for Sunday. Already. So yeah, Saturday was pretty chill day. Got home, recorded my video log. It corrupted, and I was just like, for real now, for real. And then I posted like my community post was like, hey guys, just like I was like, it was literally just like a picture of like a crying face, and I was just like, just talking to myself for 20 minutes. This sucks. And then there was this dude named GMZ. He commented and was like, "Hey man, it's okay. I talk to myself for like minutes every day. Like, not that big of a deal. You'll fill us in later." And I was like, "Well, I know I will." And then I was like GMZ, and I was like, that dude's commented before. And I looked at his other comment, and it was like, "If I ever immigrate from Italy to USA, I'll vote for you." And I was like sitting there, and I was like, I like went and told Anna. I was like, "Dude, it's kind of weird. Like, one of my biggest supporters right now is Italian. Like, I don't know. Like, that's really weird. Like, that is a thing that does not usually occur in like human history. It's really strange that like an American politician's current biggest supporter, like when he's first starting his political career, or even before his political career started, is an Italian. Like that's wild, dude. And I was like, sick, dude. Like this guy's cool. Like he gets like that people are gonna do things, and he wants to support a small YouTuber. I was like, that's awesome, bro. Like that's the coolest thing ever. Shout out to GMZ, and then there's some numbers afterwards. I had a daily thought that I had shared yesterday, and I don't like remember what it was. Gosh, I'm wasting time. I don't want to waste your guys' time. I was just thinking like, Rick. I want to say it was something about like it's so cool to, like, because we hire teenagers at Canton. Yeah, this is the day. Just like watching them grow up. Like there's this girl Alexia, we're really good friends with her. When she started working there, she had like just turned 17, and then she worked there for a full year. She's now 18, and it's kind of crazy just to watch them go from teenager to adult. Like it's a really interesting to see the transition. And with Kazan and Circa, and now Alexi's brother Joseph, and Kazan or Circa just turned 18, and it's really interesting to see them like kind of grow up. And like particularly pertaining to Circa, because she was just very emotional. Like she just wasn't very, I don't want to say wasn't very resilient. Like she's obviously resilient, but she was just very like emotionally like someone was like she'd make a minor mistake, and it would like she'd cry about it, and I'd be like, dude, you just gotta fix the mistake and keep going. Like it's okay, it's fine. Like you're fine. There's no danger. It's okay. Like I understand that you're emotional about it, but we just have to keep going, right? And I don't want to like shove you down and be like, no, get over it, loser. But like within the last month, she's had a couple moments where she's made mistakes and not cried about it, and just like fixed the mistake and be like, oh my bad. And just this last Saturday, yesterday, she my back table went up to pay. It was 166.10, and then they paid, and she handed me the receipt with like a $30 tip on it. And I was like, oh, did they like pay 50 in cash? And she was like, no, just was all in card. And I like went and grabbed the ticket, and I was like, Circa, this is 116, this is 166. And she was like, oh my gosh. And I was like, yeah, okay. I was like, hey, I'll go let Edward know that he needs to void it, to send the money back to their account. You just go let the table know, like, hey, I messed up when cashing you out. I need your card back. Will you meet me up front? Right. And so I had her go explain that to them, and she didn't even complain about it once, because I'm like, I'm busy with another table in the back. And she was like, oh, yeah, that sucks. Like, my bad. And I was like, dude, you're good. Like, it's not that big of a deal. And then when she did the receipt, it like ripped in half, so she like grabbed tape, and I was like, I'm just gonna reprint it, dude. Like, it's not that, it's just receipt paper. But it was really interesting because like she just didn't cry about it, and was just like that's a $50 mistake, dude, that could have easily slipped by and we wouldn't have even really noticed. And she was just like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, I'll get it. Like, I'll go for the one. Let me turn off my heater. And come on. Click. There we go. And she was just like, yeah, I'll go fix it real quick. And I was like, thank you, right? And so, like, it's not difficult, and it's not, like, emotionally, like, I'm sure she still feels something about it, but it's not, like, emotionally, like, getting to her anymore. And I think that's super, super awesome. Just, like, see the growth in people over time, especially as it pertains to, like, employees who, like, I'm going to be friends with, obviously. Like, these are cool people. And, like, we have, like obviously I don't want to like make friends with like teenagers or whatever, but when they grow up we're gonna be friends. Like, I'm still, like, I can still call the Carter and Austin who used to work with us, and I only knew them through work. Like, I wouldn't have known them other ways, but we've become like friends outside of work. And I think it's really, really cool to see that like the people you work with as teenagers end up growing up in that job and like maturing in the job. And so you kind of see their journey of maturity, and I'm like, dude, I love that. Like, I that makes my heart so happy, because I remember going through it, and I remember how surreal it was to realize that I was an adult. And hold on, who's texting me, Brad? Oh, okay. But I remember like how surreal it was to realize that I was an adult, and that I could act like one, and people would treat me like one, and like give me the same respect. And I didn't I felt it a lot before I started doing video logs, but it's one of the things that gave me confidence to do it. Is like when I would talk to my family, they would clue me in on real adult conversations. And it wasn't just like, oh yeah, Kyle, we're gonna go talk about something. We go play. And it's like, yeah, this is an issue in real life that we're really dealing with, that affects our community and our people in our church. And I'm sitting here going, this is like something I'm extremely passionate about. Like, thank you guys for cluing me on the conversation. And they're like, why wouldn't we? And I was so stuck in my own head of like, I'm still a teenager, that I don't realize that I've grown up and matured out of that, and have taken on responsibility, and become like a real adult. And I was just sitting there like, oh my gosh, dude, like, I'm there. And now I get to see other people go through that. And it's really, really cool, and it's really good for my soul to see people grow into themselves. It's really, really nice. So with that, I don't make the 20 minutes. I don't even know what else I was yapping about last night, because I was tired and I wish it didn't corrupt. So yeah, I'll see you all tomorrow. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful Saturday. Happy March 15th.